In the apocalypse, games rule the world. The original rules were broken, and humanity awakened and the entire population switched jobs, entering the era of monster fighting and upgrading. The game god who claimed to be King Solomon established the ideal city to protect survivors, while also creating countless game dungeons and hiding countless rare treasures. Qin Mian awakens a divine-level professional undead master. From then on, Qin Mian shuttled through countless dungeons and abyss, growing rapidly. In the Dolua dungeon, Qin Mian stepped on Tang San's face and ascended to the throne of the martial Soul Empire. In the entertainment industry dungeon, Qin Mian embraces Reba on the left and Yang Mi on the right. A self-directed and self-starred movie has attracted countless female celebrities to bow down for him. In the magical dungeon, Qin Mian and Harry Potter become friends and torment Voldemort to death. In the anti-Japanese dungeon, he brought advanced equipment to help China drive away bandits and set foot in Tokyo. In the border war, countless undead warriors were used by him, and billions of wizards surrendered to him. In the game world, Qin Mian sat on the divine throne, looked down at the world, and formulated his own world rules. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. The end of the world comes, and the awakening of abilities begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Huaxia Empire, Jiangchuan City. In front of the Crystal Tower located in the center of Jiangchuan, a magic array is being set up to awaken abilities. On the square not far from the Crystal Tower, there are over 100 high school seniors waiting to be transferred. You have fully understood the survival laws of this world in your 3 years of high school. Today, you are about to take the first step and stand on the crystal stage to awaken your abilities. Regardless of the outcome of your awakening, I hope you can become the pride of China and the pride of the human race, just like Su Qibai. Jiang Ming, the principal of Jiangchuan No. 1 High School, is giving his speech on the high platform. Su Qibai, whom he refers to, was also a student of Jiangchuan No. 1 High School in the past. During the awakening ceremony, he directly awakened his advanced mutation attribute and was recommended to Imperial University. Now, he is a level 79 summoner. He rose to fame by summoning advanced monsters during his first participation in the border war. Jiang Ming stood on the stage talking incessantly, while Qin Mian and her classmate Xiao Yu stood in the crowd, whispering quietly. The crystal towers built in each city center of the empire require the support of mages at level 50 or above to have the ability to awaken abilities. After awakening abilities in the crystal towers, we can enter advanced colleges for learning. It is said that 2 mutated attributes appeared during the awakening ceremony of No. 2 Middle School a few days ago. This time, the principal invited a level 58 array mage named Yang Yunen, hoping that No. 1 Middle School could also produce a few mutated attributes. Qin Mian has been in this world for half a year now, but it is still the first time she has seen the legendary crystal tower that can awaken her powers. Looking at the crystal tower that lights up a bit, Qin Mian's eyes are filled with a hint of anticipation. At the end of the 250th century, the world gradually collapsed under the dual erosion of time and disaster, and the shadow of the apocalypse fell on every corner, and the human race was on the brink of extinction. At this desperate moment, a mysterious figure appeared in people's sight, claiming to be the reincarnation of the ancient wise King Solomon, possessing extraordinary wisdom and power. At the same time, he is also a gaming god. With a profound understanding of the virtual world and unparalleled technology, he built an ideal city at the intersection of reality and illusion to shelter the surviving human race. In Ideal City, survivors find that their lives are given a whole new meaning. Survivors begin to awaken their abilities, and each person has the opportunity to level up and enhance their abilities by fighting monsters to face the challenges of the apocalypse. This survival game is not just entertainment, but a practical exercise that concerns life and death. The remaining human race establishes their own political power in the Ideal City. Survivors can enter the dungeons and abyss designated by King Solomon after awakening their abilities to experience, kill monsters and monsters, pass various dungeons to gain experience points and improve their level. Once they have enough abilities, they can go to the border to participate in the race war and fight for the human race. In addition to the 5 basic attributes of wood, fire, earth, gold, and water, awakened abilities are also mutated attributes, such as ice, lightning, and wind. The most difficult to see are hidden attributes such as space, light, holy, dark, undead, and space. The ability attributes of awakening are closely related to future professions, for example, Su Chibai awakens lightning-type creatures, and the monsters summoned after becoming a summoner are mostly lightning-type creatures. Based on the awakened ability attribute, we can enter higher education institutions for specialized vocational teaching, as well as have our own task panel and the qualification to go to dungeons. Once we reach a certain level, we can transfer jobs. Xiao Yu's parents are a research institute specialized in studying crystal towers in a senior college. Xiao Yu has been exposed to it since childhood and is very familiar with abilities and job transfers. I don't expect to awaken any mutated attributes, just obtaining an advanced attribute is enough. According to Xiao Yu, what he most wants to become is an archer. I have loved shooting birds on wires with a slingshot since I was young, and I am a skilled marksman who can hit every shot. Compared to Xiao Yu, who had a clear goal, Qin Mian was more casual. From being panicked when she first came to this world to now being content with the situation, Qin Mian believed she could accept anything that was about to come. The good looks of the two brothers have caused dissatisfaction among the classmates next to them. Xiao Yu, why are you so close to him? Don't forget that his character is corrupt. When walking with such a person, be careful not to be beaten. Yeah, Lin Moore has said it so many times. He shamelessly approached others and still bullies them all along based on his good grades. I have heard these words countless times in the past few months, and now I have managed to laugh them off. Xiao Yu just smiled and didn't say anything. Upon hearing them mention Lin Moore, Xiao Yu's eyes twitched and he leaned in Qin Mian's ear, teasing, the school flower who competed with Lin Moore at number 2 middle school, named Song Shuangxue, seems to have awakened to the ice system. Now, she is a complete ice beauty. Qin Mian's head is covered in black lines, what is it to compete for oneself? While speechless, there was also some shock in my heart. Mutation and hidden attributes can be said to be very rare. Qin Mian once calculated based on the data of high school students who awakened their abilities at Jiangchuan No. 1 middle school in recent years, and the appearance of mutation attributes is 1 in 10,000, while the appearance of hidden attributes is 1 in a million. I didn't expect that second middle school had 2 mutated attributes this time. Suddenly, a dazzling white light rose from the crystal tower, indicating that the formation was ready. Jiang Ming waved his hand and led the senior high school students from No. 1 middle school to the crystal tower, saying, classmates, follow me. Qin Ming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Appears, with mutated attributes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Master Yang Yunan, who arranged the awakening formation, was standing in front of the crystal tower waiting for Principal Jiang Ming and the students who were about to awaken. Master Yang, I trouble you this time too. Jiang Ming and Yang Yunan are also considered old acquaintances, and Yang Yunan smiled slightly in response. Jiang Ming stood high with the list in his hand and said, those who read their names will come forward and enter the awakening formation. Please calm down and don't be nervous. The first one, Yang Fan. Yang Fan's face turned slightly white, and he felt a little uneasy in his heart. As he entered the formation, the light rose up again, this time no longer white but a slightly dim green color. Yang Fan has awakened his intermediate wood type attributes, but his induction intensity is not very high. He is likely to become a life profession such as a horticulturist in the future. If he practices and upgrades more, strengthens his attribute induction, and transfers to a healing-type profession in the future. Wood, fire, earth, gold, and water, as common attributes, are also divided into primary, intermediate, and advanced levels based on the intensity of induction. With effective experience, attributes above intermediate level have the opportunity to become main battle and auxiliary professions when transitioning. And there is a high probability that beginners can only become lifestyle professions. Young Fan took the green medal from the nearby staff member's hand, and as soon as he stepped down, he was surrounded by several well-connected classmates who kept chattering and asking questions. Jiang Ming called out the names of several students in a row, all of whom were ordinary attributes, and the intensity of attribute induction was not very ideal. Most of them were beginners and intermediate. As Jiang Ming watched the decreasing number of students, his unease gradually rose and he murmured in a low voice, "God bless us, I hope this time our school can have a mutated attribute." Standing beside him, Yang Yunen sneered and said, "Principal Jiang should understand that mutated attributes can be encountered but not sought. It's better to place hope on advanced attributes." For so many years, Jiangchuan No. 1 Middle School has never had any mutated attributes since Su Qibai. If there were no mutated attributes in No. 2 Middle School this year, Jiang Ming wouldn't be so anxious. The number and level of awakened abilities among high school seniors are related to the resource allocation of the next school. If the first high school, which has been suppressed for many years, is deprived of the necessary resources by the second high school, the qualifications of the next high school seniors may be even worse. Next, Lin Moore. The girl wearing a white knee-length skirt gave Qin Mian a fierce glare as she walked past her, and then confidently walked up to the magic formation on the crystal tower with her head held high. Xiao Yu poked Qin Mian and asked in a low voice, "Before, you deliberately ranked second in the whole school to please Miss Lin. I was still thinking about why it has been so abnormal in the past few months. It turns out that you deliberately caught Miss Shen's attention like this." Qin Mian innocently rubbed the tip of his nose. How could he know that the original owner of this body had reached the end of the world and was still in the mood to be a licking dog here? Although it was a teaching resource he needed very much, he sent it out in vain to please others, but unfortunately, that person still had these resources. Just as Lin Moore stood on the crystal stage, the previously cloudless sky was suddenly filled with dark clouds, lightning and thunder. Purple lightning was eager to try in the dark clouds, and if not careful, it would fall. And the crystal tower, which was still shining with white light just now, turned purple. Yang Yunan's face also showed a hint of surprise at this moment. This girl's talent is extraordinary, and it is likely to trigger an anomaly. Upon hearing these words, Jiang Ming was instantly overjoyed and said, "If an anomaly occurs, it is a mutation attribute." The magic array operates, shining brightly. Amidst the white light, a faint purple ball of light could be seen surrounding Lin Moore's body. Lin Moore, Advanced Thunderbolt Series. Wow, Lin Moore is so powerful. She has awakened the same lightning type as Su Qibai, which is a mutated attribute. With such high induction intensity, she will definitely become a main battle class in the future. Lin Moore emerged from the formation full of excitement, and Yang Yunen commented with a faint smile, "Keep going, the future is limitless." Lin Moore respectfully bowed to Yang Yunen and said, "Thank you very much for your teachings, Master." When Lin Moore, wearing a lightning medal, stepped down from the stage and glared at Qin Mian once again. Their eyes met in the air, and in an instant, lightning flashed and thunder roared. Next, Qin Mian. Qin Mian withdrew her gaze and walked towards the formation on the stage. Jiang Ming asked Yang Yunan in a low voice, "Master Yang, the most outstanding students in this class are Lin Moore and Qin Mian. I wonder if he can awaken his mutated attributes." Yang Yunan glanced at Qin Mian. The young man in front of him was wearing a duckbill cap and a tattered hoodie. When he stepped onto the stage, he also lowered his head slightly, making it difficult to see his expression clearly. Feng said, academic performance does not represent a person's talent. Every year, many outstanding students who awaken their abilities while standing on the Crystal Tower formation may only display basic and ordinary attributes. Principal Jiang already has a student with mutated attributes, so why bother with this? Adding a few students with advanced attributes is also a good choice. Jiang Ming understood the meaning behind Yang Yunan's words and couldn't help but sigh. Qin Mian walked into the awakening formation in silence, and the crystal tower instantly emitted a brilliant and dazzling light enveloping him. The formation began to activate. As day falls and night falls, the dark and heavy clouds once again sweep in, with even greater force than before. The thunderous sound struck everyone's hearts, and sparks flickered in the dark clouds. The flames floated in the air, rising and falling, and there was also a clicking sound of friction in the flames, which made people shudder. Upon seeing this, Yang Yunan instantly put aside his previous disdain. A strange phenomenon occurred, and it was something we had never seen before. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. Hidden Attribute, Unique Undead Master. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Just as everyone was amazed by the appearance of the illusion, no one noticed the flickering flames within the dark clouds entering Qin Mian's body in the formation. In the second after the firelight disappeared, the dark clouds instantly dissipated and returned to the clear sky just now. The crystal tower also displays the attributes of Qin Mian's awakening this time. Qin Mian, Advanced Undead Attribute. The 4 words, Undead Attribute, fell in everyone's ears, causing everyone to be speechless. Everyone stared blankly as Qin Mian emerged from the awakening formation and fell into silence. Xiao Yu, who was the first to come to his senses, rushed forward with a loud roar and punched Qin Mian's shoulder, saying, "If you don't make a sound, you will be amazed. The only hidden attribute that exists in the legend is now standing in front of me." Standing not far away, Lin Muir's eyes were slightly red. The joy of awakening her mutated attributes had not yet passed, and Qin Mian's awakening of her hidden attributes dealt her a severe blow. The existence of hidden attributes represents that Qin Mian has become a towering mountain in front of Lin Muir, and she may not be able to surpass him in her ultimate life. Hidden attributes are much rarer than mutated attributes, but not all hidden attributes can be 100% converted into main battle classes. Lin Muir's awakening of the Thunderbolt series and Su Qibai's senior brother's notes can be used as a reference, but Qin Mian's awakening of the undead attribute does not have a clear direction. Yes, without guidance, the probability of failure is higher than others. Even a slight mistake can lead to a failed job transfer. After leveling up, choosing skills is also a problem. And the death attribute sounds a bit scary. I don't know how to view this attribute. Many of the speakers were classmates who couldn't stand Qin Mian on a regular basis. Ability awakening represents the beginning of their life of fighting monsters and upgrading. The level is displayed on the player's head, and the initial player can randomly obtain a basic skill after the ability awakens. After that, for every 10 levels of improvement, they will receive a new skill. There are many ways to acquire skills that are not limited to upgrades, but each player can only have 4 basic skills. Misselection of skills can greatly affect a player's job transfer. From here, it can be seen how important it is to have a senior with the same attribute. Qin Mian understood the truth, but he raised his hand and opened his task panel. The profession column on his player profile was not blank. When he came out of the awakening formation, Qin Mian found that his profile was different from what he had learned before. His profession was already determined when his abilities were awakened. Occupation: Undead Master. Level: SSS level. Career description: Undead Masters can summon undead spirits of the same level for their own use. While summoning, they can also obtain the professional skills of the undead before their death, and can transfer the damage suffered by the undead master to the undead. There is no need to consider the possibility of future job transfer failure. Qin Mian can upgrade according to the treasure book that comes with her profession. The biggest difference between Qin Mian's awakening death attribute and other attributes is that the death spirit attribute is unique in this world. The meaning is that there will only be one player with the undead attribute in a world, and as long as Qin Mian is still alive, there will be no second player with the undead attribute in this world. Yang Yunan, after all, is a level 58 array mage. Unlike the students with shallow knowledge in front of him, he understands that the rarer attributes must have their own unique aspects. He looked at Qin Mian, still bowing to him calmly after hearing those comments about him, with no abnormal expression on his face. Yang Yunan knew he had taken a wrong look before. Principal Zhang's student is sure to have great success in the future. Setting aside his hidden attributes, his personality in dealing with people is also worth learning from. Jiang Ming grinned, the students were in high spirits, and his face lit up. As Qin Mian walked past the two, Yang Yunan stopped him and said, "Qin Mian, I wonder if I have the honor of experiencing the basic skills of the undead attribute. I have participated in several border battles and have seen various mutated attributes on the battlefield, but I have not seen any undead type skills. I want to gain a deeper understanding." Yang Yunan opened his profession and level, and the words, 58 level array mage, hung on his head, proving his identity. Qin Mian's eyes lit up as he first had close contact with high level players of the main battle class. At this moment, he heard that he had also participated in border battles, and his heart became even more excited. It's an honor for students. Qin Mian, who had just awakened, was not yet proficient in using his skills. He summoned the task panel and clicked to use his skills, and everyone stared intently at the scene on stage. After a few breaths, Qin Mian's hands added a pair of black gloves, which were covered in intricate patterns. Just as Qin Mian silently recited the skill spell, the patterns on the gloves slowly lit up. A gust of wind blew by, and everyone felt an inexplicable cold strike. Their backs became cold, and they all tightened their coats. When they looked up again, Qin Mian had already added a bronze skeleton behind him. Name: Qin Mian, Attribute. Necromancer Attribute, Level. Level 1, 0%, Power. 10, Agile. 10, Constitution. 10, Intelligence. 10, Spirit. 20, Charm. 10, Skill. Guardian of Sorrow, immediately summon a type of undead creature for oneself to use, and at the same time summon, there is a chance to obtain the undead skills during their lifetime. Summoning Undead. Level 1 Skull Warrior, Junior, Quantity. 1, Qingming Outing and Happy Reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Skull Warrior, Xiao use Persuasion. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. According to ancient texts, there are a total of 7 types of undead creatures on the plane of the undead, namely skeletons, zombies, necromancers, black warriors, undead knights, ghosts, and undead dragons. The strength of the undead is divided into 5 levels, each of which is further divided into 4 levels. Initial, medium, high, and peak. Among the 7 types of undead, skeletons, zombies, and zombies are low-level undead creatures with a basic level of 1. Black warriors, undead knights, and ghosts are intermediate undead creatures with a basic level of 2, and undead dragons are high-level undead creatures with a basic level of 3. At Qin Mian's current level, only one first-level skeleton warrior can be summoned. Click on the attributes of the Skull Warrior, and all attributes have the same level. First level Basic Skeleton Warrior. Power. 10, Agile. 10, Constitution. 10, Intelligence. 10, Spirit. 10, Charm. Yang Yunen looked at the clattering skeleton soldiers behind Qin Mian and raised his hand to draw a miniature attack formation at Qin Mian's feet. As a human, Qin Mian did not feel anything unusual, while the skeleton soldiers behind him automatically activated defense mode and sent reminders to Qin Mian in his mind. Skull Warrior under attack, whether to counterattack. The suddenly rising skeleton warrior startled the curious students who walked forward and took a few steps back. Qin Mian quickly cancelled the automatic attack mode of the Skull Warrior. In just this moment, Qin Mian's spiritual power had already been depleted by 10 points, which frightened Qin Mian to quickly retrieve the skeleton warrior into her summoning space. As a main combat class, Yang Yunen has also experienced countless battles. With sharp eyes, he could tell at a glance that the skeleton warrior summoned by Qin Mian had other unusual features, but he knew that this level was already sufficient. Thank you very much for your display, little friend. I hope to see you shining brightly on the border battlefield in the future. Qin Mian bowed again and said, with the good words of the master, I will definitely work hard for the revival of the human race. Jiang Ming next to him laughed so hard that his eyes couldn't even open. This time, not only did a mutated Thunderbolt-type Lin Muir appear in one middle school, but also unexpectedly had a hidden Undead-type Qin Mian. With these two ace cards in hand, his promotion this time should be no problem. The awakening ceremony continued, and as Xiao Yu had guessed before, he awakened to become a peak-level gold series and emerged from the awakening array with satisfaction. Quickly, the remaining students also completed the awakening ceremony. Yang Yunen closed the awakening formation, the white light dissipated, and the crystal tower returned to its previous state, quietly waiting for the next opening. After a few pleasantries with Jiang Ming, he left and even left his business card with Qin Mian, instructing him that if he went to Imperial University in the future, he could bring his business card to find him. Jiang Ming returned to No. 1 middle school with his senior high school students, preparing for the next trial arrangement. You have successfully awakened your attributes and should have noticed that your current level is level 1, 0%. In the next 6 months, you will need to go to various dungeons and abyss for trials to improve your level. After 6 months, you will participate in a unified assessment of the junior college to determine your future school of study. Jiang Ming stood on the high platform, his eyes scanning the students present. The location for this trial is in the swamp forest. This is your first time participating in the dungeon trial, and I hope you can seize this opportunity well. Xiao Yu and Qin Mian sat in the last row, biting their ears. Xiao Yu is like a jack of all trades, knowing everything very well. From his mouth, Qin Mian quickly learned the basic information about the swamp forest in this trial. Most of the locations provided for high school seniors trials are randomly selected from the school's well-known dungeons. When we enter the trial site, there will be dedicated teachers guarding the exit to prevent students from accidentally entering other places in the dungeon. Xiao Yu's opinion on this trial site is: it's average. This kind of trial difficulty is not very difficult for intermediate and above students, and the disadvantages are also obvious. After all, everyone meets low-level monsters, and it is difficult to widen the gap in the same time. The main focus of this trial is still on you and Lin Muir. After entering the trial area, you must be careful and careful again. Xiao Yu's worries are not unfounded. Even though Qin Mian has awakened his unique undead lineage, he still lacks the ability to protect himself. People with outstanding talents are more likely to attract the attention of others. The talents of the human race can be said to be very superior compared to other races, but every year in the border war, the human race always falls behind due to insufficient numbers, due to the struggle caused by the division of the Ideal City regime. Previously, there had been incidents in Ideal City where someone envied someone else's talent and killed them. Even if King Solomon repeatedly modified the protection treaty of Ideal City, there would always be people who found loopholes in the text to attack others. Xiao Yu rarely discussed something with such caution, and Qin Mian nodded solemnly. After all, Qin Mian was in school bullying before. Those who are bullied and die, even in the apocalypse, will not change their evil nature. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. Sealing God System, Invincible Skill. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. King Solomon set up countless dungeons around the ideal city that could be used to brush experiences. He divided the areas according to the difficulty levels of beginner, simple, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and hell, waiting for survivors to explore unfamiliar areas. The monsters in the dungeon originate from human fear and desire, with various forms, some powerful and fierce, and some cunning and eerie. Every time a monster is defeated, survivors can not only gain experience points to increase their level, but also obtain various rare resources and skills, which will help them survive in the apocalypse. For students like Qin Mian who have just awakened their abilities, they must be accompanied by the principal and teacher every time they try. The opening of dungeons has its own fixed time, and the location of this trial is determined to be in the swamp forest. The next time the swamp forest opens is a week later. Qin Mian and his team need to go home and rest on their own, and come to the teleportation point collection when the dungeon is opened. The place where Qin Mian lives is not far from No. 1 middle school. It is a house left by Qin Mian's grandfather. Half a year ago, Qin Mian didn't know what was going on. When she woke up, she found herself in a strange world where the flowers on the roadside were made up of pixels, and the sun and white clouds were also made up of pixels. Qin Mian learned from Grandpa Qin what kind of world she was currently in, and also learned that the former Qin Mian had died of a high fever after being pushed into the water at school. The reason was that Qin Mian didn't dodge Lin Muir in time when she saw her enter the classroom. Lin Muir's so-called good companions cannot be ignored. Qin Mian also has an older sister named Qin Yu, who is currently studying at Imperial University. In the second month after Qin Mian came to this world, his grandfather Qin was taken to the imperial capital for treatment by Qin Yu due to a physical illness. Afterwards, Qin Mian lived alone in Jiangchuan City. Qin Mian, who didn't know how to face Grandpa Qin, also breathed a sigh of relief. With the help of his neighbors and Xiao Yu from time to time, Qin Mian's life was still decent. Qin Yu's former teacher also paid close attention to Qin Mian's life. According to him, Qin Yu awakened to the advanced wood type, and was admitted to Imperial University through special circumstances because his initial skill was a healing type skill. It is said that Qin Yu's talent was on par with Su Qibai's, and he was the top scorer in Jiangchuan City that year. Qin Mian lay in bed and clicked on the task panel. Just as Qin Mian was about to summon the skeleton warrior again to study, suddenly a voice rang in Qin Mian's ear, startling him. Congratulations to the host for successfully awakening the divine level professional Undead Master and successfully binding the divine sealing system. Optimizing skills. Skill optimization completed. Qin Mian looked at the task panel in front of her with doubts, where there was no other information besides her basic attributes. Host, please don't panic. I am bound to a system because the host has awakened the undead profession. As my name suggests, my task is to help the host deify in the game world. Qin Mian once again confirmed that the voice was coming from her own mind, and that she had mistakenly bound this so-called divine sealing system. Do you really have a chance to become a god? After staying in this world for 10 years, Qin Mian had a high acceptance of the existence of the system. Host, don't doubt the existence of your god-level profession. The system will help you step by step onto the throne of gods. It's only a matter of time for the host to become a god. Now, please accept the first gift from the system. A god-level skill. Divine skill. Unify all things. Skill description. After using the skill, the user can quickly obtain the opponent's skill details and copy their skills. The sealing god system will automatically help the host hide the identity of the undead master in front of outsiders. While the host completes the task, additional rewards will also be added. Please seize the time to improve your level. Qin Mian saw that her basic attributes had doubled, and even the number of summoned skeleton warriors had increased from 1 to 2. Name: Qin Mian. Attribute: Necromancer. Attribute: Level 1, 0%, Power 20, Agile 20, Constitution 20, Intelligence 20, Spirit 40, Charm 20, Active Skill. The Guardian of Sorrow immediately summons a type of undead creature for their own use. When summoned, there is a chance to obtain the skills of the undead during their lifetime, which can be used permanently. Summoning Space: 2 out of 10, Level 1 Skull Warrior, Level Beginner, Quantity 2, Passive Skill. Damage Transfer: all damage suffered by the Undead Master is borne by the summoned object. In addition to basic attacks and defenses, Skull Warriors also have a basic skill. Qin Mian is studying the conditions for using skills to ensure maximum effectiveness when using them. He silently recited a spell to summon his only 2 skeleton warriors, with little change in appearance compared to what he had seen before, but with an earth-shattering change in attributes. First level mid-level skeleton warrior. Power: 100, Agile 100, Constitution 100, Intelligence 100, Spirit 100, Charm 100, Skill. Song of the Undead. When using this skill, the undead can increase their critical hit rate when launching an attack, causing the puppet's soul fire to burn and engage in soul attacks. At the moment when 2 puppet warriors were summoned at the same time, Qin Mian's spiritual power was depleted by 10 points. He tried to summon the undead again, but unexpectedly summoned a high-level skeleton warrior on the 3rd summon. Advanced skeleton warriors are more likely to trigger the hidden skills of the Guardian of War. Skill: Thunder Binding. Users can summon thunder to attack and bind enemies. According to these rules, Qin Mian, a necromancer, may become a full attribute necromancer in the future. No wonder this attribute and profession are unique. If there are more, the world will be dominated by the necromancer. Qin Mian remembered Miss Lin, who had awakened to the Thunderbolt technique. She didn't know what kind of expression she would have when she saw herself using the Thunderbolt technique. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. The Trial of Swamp Forest and Lin Moore's Gambling Contract. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Unconsciously, a week had passed and in the blink of an eye, it was time to gather for the trial. With Qin Mian's continuous practice, the time required to summon a skeleton warrior has been reduced by half compared to the first summoning, and he can also minimize the consumption of mental energy while summoning a puppet warrior. The bus arranged by the school stopped at the school gate early in the morning, because this trial was not only for students from No. 1 middle school, but also for all high school seniors who participated in the awakening ceremony in Jiangchuan City. After they gather at the school gate, they will board the bus according to their class and go to the teleportation point of the trial dungeon. The unified trial for high school seniors will have a dedicated teacher contact the mage of the teleportation array to control the immediate teleportation range within the swamp forest location, to ensure that all students are teleported to the swamp forest without error. Qin Mian and the others just need to wait quietly for the teleportation array to open. While waiting, Qin Mian once again exclaimed upon hearing the awakening data of high school seniors in Jiangchuan City. There are a total of 5 schools in Jiangchuan City, each with more than 100 students. This time, more than 600 people participated in the trial, and only students from No. 1 and No. 2 middle school awakened their mutated attributes. In addition, the proportion of advanced attributes in several schools this time has decreased significantly compared to previous years, with the highest reaching only 10%. More than 600 people, with only 60 students with advanced attributes, demonstrate the difficulty of awakening abilities. The awakening of the students became the focus of discussion between the principal and teachers, and the principals stood together chatting enthusiastically. Principal Lu Yuan can be considered proud this time. With 2 mutated attributes, my younger brother's eyes turned red with envy. Wherever and where, it's all up to the students to boost themselves. Speaking of which, Principal Jiang Ming's number 1 middle school is really impressive, with 1 mutated attribute and 1 hidden attribute. When I heard this news, I was stunned. We haven't had any hidden attributes in Jiangchuan City for many years. The former Su Qibai, the later Qin Yu who was admitted to the Advanced Wu department through special admission, and the current hidden Undead department, God still favors Principal Jiang. Jiang Ming was surrounded by several people in the middle, with a red smile on his face. Qin Mian was also surrounded in the waiting area of the class at this time. Lin Muir's sisters group surrounded Qin Mian. Lin Muir, the leader, looked up and down at Qin Mian, and said for a moment. Qin Mian, I admit that you really succeeded this time and got my attention. I'll make a bet with you this time to see who is higher after the test. Xiao Yu placed one hand on Qin Mian's shoulder and casually said, Miss Lin, you have taken a liking to my family's Qin Mian. What does it mean that Qin Mian successfully caught your attention? Lin Muir hates being called Miss Lin the most. When she heard Xiao Yu say something again, her face turned cold and she said, Xiao Yu, what's up with you when I talk to Qin Mian? Who are you? Xiao Yu's face did not change. I saved Qin Mian who was pushed down the river by your little sisters, and Grandpa Qin entrusted him to me when he left Jiangchuan. Talking about Qin Mian's high fever after falling into the water before, Lin Muir's momentum weakened. Lin Muir, who knew she couldn't speak for Xiao Yu, turned her gaze to Qin Mian and said, It was my fault to push you into the water. I apologized to you before. Qin Mian couldn't forgive Lin Muir's apology for the previous Qin Mian. Lin, not all apologies can be forgiven. This time is just a small trial, what's there to gamble on? If we want to gamble, we'll bet on the admission exam of Imperial University in 6 months' time. Lin Muir showed a disdainful expression and said, Do you dare to think of Imperial University? Qin Mian smiled and said, I promised you the bet. If I win, you will agree to the bet I proposed and see who can successfully get the admission letter from Imperial University. Lin Muir gritted her teeth and agreed, Okay, let's make a deal. Lin Muir and a group of people left, and Xiao Yu revealed his concern. Qin Mian, Imperial University will not make an exception to admit you because you have hidden attributes. Students who do not meet the level requirements will not be considered. Qin Mian's sister, Qin Yu, was admitted to the Imperial University due to her 100% talent in transitioning to a healing profession. Most of the reason is that Qin Yu reached level 20 in just 6 months, even Su Qibai was only at level 15. The Lin family's business is spread throughout China, and as long as she thinks, her father will always have a way. Qin Mian patted his shoulder and comforted him, if she allows her father to operate secretly, then she won't be the arrogant Lin Muir. Don't worry about this bet, Qin Mian will win. This matter quickly spread to Jiang Ming's ears, and the head of the Lin family happened to come to talk to Jiang Ming about Lin Muir's matter. The little girl is not sensible, which made Principal Jiang laugh. The man wearing a black suit and golden glasses showed a slightly apologetic smile, but his refined and easy-going attitude made Jiang Ming even more nervous. Where? Is it the Undead series that only appeared this year that I bet on with the little girl? Jiang Ming explained their gambling agreement. Yes, Lin Muir and Qin Mian are the 2 best classmates of the year at number 1 middle school. It is common for students to set small goals to promote each other's efforts. The head of the Lin family is not a pedant either, and he is very tolerant of children's play. Principal Jiang said that children at their age are not willing to give up, and sometimes it is a good thing to let them feel the taste of failure. Qin Ming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7. Trial begins, the Skull and Harvest mode is activated. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Trial begins, the Skull Warrior begins harvesting Qin Mian, who had stepped into the teleportation array, felt a wave of dizziness. The sudden dazzling light in front of him forced him to close his eyes. After the light disappeared, Qin Mian opened his eyes and found himself in a swampy forest. The place where Qin Mian was transported was a vast grassland, with grass as high as half a meter. The complex environment made it more difficult for him to find the small monster. Without hesitation, Qin Mian summoned his 4 skeleton warriors and gave them attack targets. The skeleton warriors who received the command carried their weapons and scattered around. Novice dungeons are designed for beginners to practice, so the highest level of the small monsters in the dungeons will not exceed level 10, which is considered insignificant for advanced attributes. The skeleton warrior who reached 100 agility points moved quickly and disappeared from Qin Mian's sight in the blink of an eye. The advanced skeleton warrior was the first to find his prey, a long-tailed mouse wandering in the grass searching for food. Successfully killed level 1 long-tailed mouse, experience plus 10, level 1 long-tailed mice can increase experience by 10%, and 100 can successfully upgrade Qin Mian to level 2. Qin Mian currently has 3 mid-level and 1 high-level skeleton warriors, so encountering small monsters at levels 1 and 2 is not a problem at all. Qin Mian found a hidden place and constantly meditated to restore his mental strength to ensure that the combat effectiveness of the skeleton warrior did not weaken. Successfully killed level 1 long-tailed mouse, experience plus 10, successfully killed level 1 long-tailed mouse, experience plus 10, the skeleton warrior wielded knives and fell, happily chopping long-tailed mice one by one. Qin Mian watched as the continuous prompts and gradually increasing experience points continued. Half an hour later, Qin Mian's level was raised to level 2, 1.2%. Name: Qin Mian, Attribute. Necromancer Attribute, Level. Level 2, 1.2%, Power. 20, Agile. 20, Constitution. 20, Intelligence. 20, Spirit. 40, Charm. 20, Active Skill. The Guardian of Sorrow immediately summons a type of undead creature for their own use. When summoned, there is a chance to obtain the skills of the undead during their lifetime, which can be used permanently. Summoning Space. 4 out of 10, Level 1 Skull Warrior, Medium Level, Quantity. 3, High Level, Quantity. 1, Passive Skill. Damage Transfer, all damage suffered by the Undead Master is borne by the summoned object. Divine Skill. Unify all things. Skill Description. After using the skill, the user can quickly obtain the opponent's skill details and copy their skills. At the same time as Qin Mian's level increased, the skeleton warriors summoned by him using his skills also received corresponding improvements. First level mid-level skeleton warrior. Power. 150, Agility. 150, Constitution. 150, Intelligence. 150, Spirit. 150, Charm. 150, Skill. Song of the Undead. When using this skill, the undead can increase their critical hit rate when launching an attack, causing the puppet's soul fire to burn and engage in soul attacks. Level 1 Advanced Skull Warrior. Power. 200, Agile. 200, Constitution. 200, Intelligence. 200, Spirit. 200, Charm. 200, Skill. Song of the Undead. When using this skill, the undead can increase their critical hit rate when launching an attack, causing the puppet's soul fire to burn and engage in soul attacks. By elevating oneself by 1 level, the attributes of the puppet warrior have been increased by 50 points, and the points spent on spirit have also been reduced. Under the abundant spiritual power of Qin Mian, the skull warrior activated the harvesting mode, and encountered low-level monsters with each blow. Successfully killed level 1 long-tailed mouse, experience plus 10, successfully killed level 2 koi cat, experience plus 20, successfully killed level 1 spirit dog, experience plus 10, successfully killed level 3 white goose, experience plus 30, the experience bar keeps rising, and at this rate of upgrading, Qin Mian can only reach level 5 in 3 or 4 hours. The higher the level, the more experience needed to upgrade, and the slower the upgrading speed afterwards. Qin Mian wants to reach level 10 in this trial, so she can't focus on the small monster in front of her. Coincidentally, the small monsters around had already been cleaned up by the skeleton warriors, so Qin Mian decided to take them to other places to search for high-level small monsters. The 4 skeleton warriors can kill wherever they go without worrying about Qin Mian. They just need to watch the progress of the experience bar and the distance between the skeleton warriors and themselves. Several principals outside the dungeon are also chatting with the head of the Lin family about Qin Mian's unique undead lineage. I heard that on the day of the awakening of supernatural powers, Qin Mian publicly demonstrated her first active skill. Lin's words instantly caught the attention of everyone present, and they all sat up straight, staring straight at Jiang Ming. After all, it is a hidden attribute that has never been seen before, and everyone wants to gain a deeper understanding. Jiang Ming was also honest and said, yes, his first active skill was summoning undead spirits. He summoned a skeleton warrior, and the attacked skeleton warrior could attack and defend on his own. It may be because he had no experience summoning for the first time. He said that his mental energy was depleted quickly when controlling the puppet warrior. Master Lin raised his eyebrows and said, just summoning a skeleton warrior. Jiang Ming shook his head hesitantly and said, it should be more than that. Qin Mian's sister Qin Yu awakened to the advanced wood type and became a life type again during the dungeon trial. Qin Mian's talent may not be worse than Qin Yu's. It may be because he had just awakened and had not fully understood it at that time. Compared to the two, everyone is still willing to believe Jiang Ming's viewpoint. As the conversation turned, we talked back to this trial. What do you think the highest level of this trial will be? The previous highest record seems to be Qin Yu's 8th level. The biggest chance is that those mutated attributes are, but after all, they are participating in the trial for the first time, and the highest possible level is only 5 or 6. Lin's beloved daughter seems to have awakened to the Thunderbolt series, which has a higher attack power. It is estimated that either Lin or Song Shuangxue from the Ice series has awakened this time. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. The Dominance of the Dead Spirit System. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. I really envy Principal Jiang and Principal Lu. With these students here, there should be no problem with promotion this year. As teachers in life-related professions, their upgrade requirements are the qualifications and quantity of students they teach. The higher the qualifications and number of students who successfully teach, the more experience points they will gain. This experience value can be obtained by both the principal and the homeroom teacher. After high school students are admitted to higher education institutions and their reputation is improved, the principal can also receive an additional reward. Jiang Ming and Lu Yuan exchanged a glance and smiled silently. As the head of the Lin family, although Lin Feng has transferred to a life-oriented profession and has brought prosperity to the Lin family in recent years, he is still very pleased that his beloved daughter has the opportunity to become a main battle-oriented profession. Lin first congratulated the two principals on their promotion with tea instead of wine here. Thanks to Principal Zhang's guidance, my Moor has achieved the current level of success. In the following topics, several people tacitly did not mention Qin Mian's awakening of the undead lineage. They all heard that Qin Yu was more talented than Su Qibai, but they cannot guarantee that Qin Mian will also be so lucky. The cultivation techniques of the Undead series are limited, and even if they switch to a main combat class in the future, what role can this Undead series play on the battlefield? Is it just summoning skeleton warriors to fight for oneself on the battlefield? But with Qin Mian alone, how many skeleton warriors can he summon, let alone the difficulty of cultivating hidden attributes is more difficult than mutated attributes. Qin Mian does not have sufficient resources to upgrade his level, and even if he carries hidden attributes, it is difficult to achieve anything. Jiang Ming glanced up at the clock on the wall. The time limit for beginner trials is within 24 hours, and there are still 20 hours left until the end of the trials. Within 4 hours, the teleportation array has already transported back more than 100 students, most of whom are beginner-level students. Qin Mian in the dungeon was harvested by the Skull Warrior and rose to level 4. Name: Qin Mian, Attribute. Necromancer Attribute, Level. Level 4, 0.2%, Power. 40, Agility. 40, Constitution. 40, Intelligence. 40, Spirit. 80, Charm. 40, Active Skill. The Guardian of Sorrow immediately summons a type of undead creature for their own use. When summoned, there is a chance to obtain the skills of the undead during their lifetime, which can be used permanently. Summoning Space. 8/20, Level 1 Skull Warrior, Medium Level, Quantity. 6, High Level, Quantity. 2, Passive Skill. Damage Transfer, all damage suffered by the Undead Master is borne by the summoned object. Divine Skill. Unify all things. Skill Description. After using the skill, the user can quickly obtain the opponent's skill details and copy their skills. He once again summoned a high-level skeleton warrior and obtained a wooden healing skill, but with the passive skill of the Undead Master, this healing skill may not be available to him temporarily. With the increase of spiritual power, Qin Mian summoned more and more skeleton warriors. The attributes of skeleton warriors increased by 50 points in every upgrade of Qin Mian, and the growth trend was terrifying. Qin Mian's upgrade speed also became faster and faster. Perhaps as they gradually approached the center of the trial site, the levels of small monsters encountered by the Skull Warrior were also gradually increasing. Lower-level small monsters had disappeared and mostly appeared as small monsters at level 5 and 6. Successfully killed level 6 Sika Deer, experience plus 60. Successfully killed level 5 Flower Snake, experience plus 50. For Qin Mian, no matter what level of monsters they are the same. There is no room for resistance in front of skeleton warriors with strength and agility attributes as high as 300 points. In contrast, the higher the level, the higher the experience Qin Mian gained. Qin Mian occasionally encounters a few small monsters that have escaped from the hands of Skull Warriors. Qin Mian is better off using them to practice the permanent skills she has obtained by summoning Skull Warriors. The injured should first use healing skills to heal them, and then use Thunderbolt Binding to attack. After repeated operations, Qin Mian has become proficient in using the two skills. When Qin Mian was waiting for an upgrade, he would also wonder why he could use skills with other attributes in a Undead series. When he repeatedly clicked on the task panel to study, only active and passive skills were displayed on the panel. The divine level skills bestowed by the system were hidden, and the skills obtained by summoning undead spirits were not displayed on the panel. Except for Qin Mian, no one in this world knew that the undead faction would have such a domineering setting, allowing the inconspicuous Qin Mian to possess 5 skills in just a few hours. You should know that according to the rules established by King Solomon, only those who have successfully transferred can possess 4 skills and must be of the same attribute. If the number of skills obtained by summoning the undead is not limited, Qin Mian may become the only person in this world who can use all attribute skills. Name: Qin Mian, Attribute. Necromancer Attribute, Level. Level 5, 0.8%. The area near the center of the trial site is densely populated with small monsters, and the tireless skeleton warriors wield their swords cleanly to continuously gain experience for Qin Mian. Qingming Outing and Happy Reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Flash Kill, accidentally entering the 9th level Wisteria tree. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The closer it is to the center of the trial site, the surrounding environment also begins to change. The previous grassland gradually turned into a forest, and the surrounding trees gradually increased. The lush canopy layer by layer blocked the sunlight from outside. Qin Mian, whose visual range was reduced, observed the changes in the surrounding environment and dared not relax his vigilance. Just as Qin Mian discovered a tree covered in vines and was about to lower his head and move the vines down, the vines that had just swayed slightly with the breeze were instantly infused with vitality. The drooping vines moved flexibly, and in a few blinks, they bound Qin Mian's limbs. At this time, Qin Mian's level was upgraded to level 7 with the help of countless small monsters, and his agility attribute had increased to 80 points. Even so, he still couldn't react in time. Qin Mian summoned the skeleton warrior back while trying to break free from the control of the vines. Perhaps sensing Qin Mian's threat, the vines transformed from dark green to purple, with twice the number as before. The thorny vines landed on Qin Mian's neck, transforming into straws that inserted into her body, continuously sucking Qin Mian's blood. Passive skill, Damage Transfer. Qin Mian, who was injured, instantly activated a passive skill, transferring all the damage to the skeleton warrior. Qin Mian did not feel any pain, only a chill in her neck. The closest skeleton warrior rushed back and cut off the vines that had trapped Qin Mian with a knife. Qin Mian, who had fallen to the ground, reached out and touched his neck, which was already bleeding profusely. Level 9, Wisteria Tree. Qin Mian looked at the big characters on the vine's head with a serious expression. Xiao Yu once said that the highest level of the small monster in the new trial ground this time is level 8. Where did the level 9 Wisteria tree in front of him come from? Just now, when the skull warrior passed by from here, he did not trigger the attack of the Wisteria tree. Unfortunately, when he arrived here, the Wisteria tree launched an attack. Qin Mian did not hesitate to click to use the divine level skill, Unity of All Things. Wisteria tree, Level. Level 9. Attribute. Wood Series. Introduction. When in a dormant state, it attaches to trees to absorb nutrients. When awakened, it randomly attacks nearby creatures and draws their blood for cultivation, which is toxic. Qin Mian casually applied a healing skill to herself and then directed the surrounding skeleton warriors to launch an attack on the Wisteria tree. The Wisteria tree, which had just been cut off from its vines, cannot absorb nutrients and cannot grow new vines in a short period of time. It can only hide in mid-air as much as possible, avoiding the attack of the skeleton warrior. The skull warriors couldn't find their attack target and triggered their skills one after another. The song of the undead ignited a soul fire in the eyes of the hollow skull, and their upper and lower teeth collided with each other, making a creaking sound. Under this eerie sound, the vines of the Wisteria tree seemed to be restricted by something, and their movement speed slowed down significantly. Soon, they were cut into several sections by the skull warriors. The Wisteria tree hidden within the trees also revealed its prototype at this moment. The remaining skeleton warriors seized the opportunity and wielded weapons to strike at the Wisteria tree. The level 9 monsters are indeed quite difficult to deal with, but the attacks of the entire 12 skeleton warriors are not vegetarian. Under the intimidation of the Song of the Dead, the Wisteria tree has no room for resistance and quickly becomes an experience for Qin Mian to level up. Successfully killed level 9 Wisteria tree, experience plus 200. Name. Qin Mian, Attribute. Necromancer Attribute, Level. Level 8, 0%, Power. 80, Agile. 80, Constitution. 80, Intelligence. 80, Spirit. 160, Charm. 80, Active Skill. The Guardian of Sorrow immediately summons a type of undead creature for their own use. When summoned, there is a chance to obtain the skills of the undead during their lifetime, which can be used permanently. Summoning Space. 12/30, Level 1 Skull Warrior, Medium Level, Quantity. 9, High Level, Quantity. 3, Passive Skill. Damage Transfer. All damage suffered by the Undead Master is borne by the summoned object. Divine Skill. Unify all things. Skill Description. After using the skill, the user can quickly obtain the opponent's skill details and copy their skills. By the time the teacher in charge of this area realized something was wrong and rushed with his people, Qin Mian had already cleared up the monsters nearby and their level was approaching level 9. Qin Mian. Did you kill the Wisteria tree? The person who came was Qin Mian's acquaintance, Qin Yu's homeroom teacher Song Yao. The skeleton warrior has been summoned back to the summoning space by Qin Mian. When Song Yao arrived at the scene, he saw Qin Mian squatting by the withered wisteria tree, holding the broken vine and looking non-stop. Song Yao scanned up and down to confirm that Qin Mian was completely intact, before letting out a sigh of relief. After all, this is my own student's younger brother who has awakened a rare hidden lineage, so there shouldn't be any accidents. Continuous 24 hours of experience time is indeed a bit difficult for you. If you can't persist, you can leave the dungeon early. Song Yao saw Qin Mian's expression with a hint of fatigue, and thought he was too eager for quick success. He couldn't help but speak up and persuade, it's just a first trial, there's no need to be too arrogant. Qin Mian didn't say anything, just said that she was also preparing to leave the dungeon. Of course, Qin Mian was not tired. The case of the wisteria tree was mentioned earlier. When Qin Mian was shuttling through the forest, he had to muster 12 points of energy. At the same time, he had to command puppet soldiers to scatter into the forest to search for prey, which reduced the time for meditation. By the time the skull warrior cleared the area, Qin Mian's mental energy had also been depleted. Healing techniques can heal wounds, but cannot restore mental strength. Qin Mian chose to squat and wait for mental strength to recover, but unexpectedly met Song Yao here. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. Lin Feng's Questions and Impossible Accidents. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With Song Yao present, Qin Mian did not expend much mental energy when leaving the dungeon. The light that enveloped the two dissipated, and then he opened his eyes and returned to the teleportation point. Qin Mian's return caught everyone's attention. Qin Mian. How many levels have you advanced to? Qin Mian concealed his level and attributes, and several principals surrounded him without seeing his current level. Qin Mian. Level 8. Jiang Ming widened his eyes and confirmed repeatedly, did you just say level 8? Qin Mian nodded and looked at the principals looking at each other with a strange expression. She displayed her level and asked, is there anything wrong with my level? Looking at the level above his head, Jiang Ming took a deep breath. Previously, maintaining Qin Mian in front of several people was for the sake of Qin Yu. He never expected that Qin Mian's awakening of the undead faction would be so powerful. In just over 10 hours, Qin Mian had already risen to level 8, with talent comparable to his sister's. Several people stared back and forth at the attributes and levels on his head several times, and had to accept this fact. There are still more than 10 hours until the end of the trial, why are you coming out now? The students who conduct their first trial in each session may not only be able to persist until the end of the trial in the dungeon, but those who awaken their advanced attributes all grit their teeth and persist until the end in order to improve their level as soon as possible. Why did Qin Mian come out so early? Qin Mian yawned and said, because all the monsters in my area have been cleared. Without refreshing, there will be no monsters left, and it's useless to stay in the dungeon. The people present were instantly filled with question marks. How could they not know that the monsters in the dungeon still had a day to be cleared? Lin Feng stood behind and watched for half a day, but when he heard Qin Mian's words, he became clear and his expression became cold. There is a limit to the number of slightly higher level monsters in the trial field, but there is no limit to the number of lower level small monsters in the beginner dungeon. Qin Mian, a student who has just awakened from the undead department, has no talent but a skill. How could he clean up the small monsters in the trial field in these few hours? Teacher Song, is what Qin Mian said true? Jiang Ming turned to ask Song Yao, who recalled that when he arrived, the nearby area was empty, as if he had really not seen any trace of the little monster. When I went, I didn't see any trace of the little monster nearby. Song Yao's words plunged several people into silence. Qin Mian's mental energy was exhausted too much, and she was very tired. After consulting with Jiang Ming again, she prepared to go home and rest. Lin Feng stopped him and said, Qin Mian, I'm Lin Feng. I'm very curious why you didn't choose to team up with other classmates. Finding suitable partners to team up seems to be a fixed rule deeply ingrained in everyone's hearts, even for newcomers who have just awakened their abilities. They roughly determine their future career based on their ability attributes and skill preferences, while selecting suitable partners. In a dungeon full of crises everywhere, no one can guarantee that they can fight alone without any damage. In a team, close combat and long-range attacks are indispensable for healing. Qin Mian relied on herself as a member of the undead lineage, which made her somewhat arrogant. Qin Mian has a good memory. He had seen the person in front of him in a TV interview before and also knew that Lin Feng was Lin Moore's father. Master Lin, as you said, partners are essential, and often we need to make choices based on the actual situation. Now we are facing a beginner dungeon with only level 8 monsters at the highest, and it takes more time for 2 people to find and kill monsters together than for 1 person to act alone. The reduction in time for killing monsters can be almost negligible, and the drawback of teaming up to defeat monsters is that the experience needs to be evenly divided, which can greatly slow down the speed of leveling up. That's why I didn't choose to team up with classmates. Lin Feng had to admit that Qin Mian's reasons were sufficient and reasonable. I heard Principal Jiang say before that your sister is a rare genius who stood out in the beginner's dungeon and raised her level to level 8. Now it seems that you are not inferior either. Lin Feng knew that even if one person can level up faster than the team members when fighting monsters, Qin Mian's ability to clear the monsters in her area in such a short amount of time should rely on other things. Master Lin praised falsely. Qin Mian, who was bidding farewell again and preparing to leave, suddenly remembered something. He stopped and emitted his mental energy to observe the surroundings. Only after confirming that there were no abnormalities around him did he dare to speak up. I encountered monsters above the level of the new dungeon, which should be the reason why Teacher Song broke into that area during the trial. It was a level 9 wisteria tree hidden among ordinary trees. Later, I observed that the vines of the wisteria tree could extend throughout the entire forest. It comes with its own toxicity, can paralyze prey, and can greatly absorb prey's blood to improve its level. Qin Mian thought for a moment and said, I cannot guarantee that there are no super-level wisteria trees in the area where other students are located, but for the safety of other students, it is best to perform a full copy scan. In case of any unforeseen circumstances. Qin Mian's opinion was based on his actual situation. He was spared only by having a skeleton warrior bear the damage for himself. If other classmates encounter the wisteria tree, the outcome is hard to say. After listening to Qin Mian's words, everyone's faces changed greatly. The person with the most unpleasant expression is Lin Feng. He doesn't care how Qin Mian survived the attack of the 9th level Wisteria tree now, he's worried that Lin Moore, who is still in the dungeon, will also encounter super-level monsters. The previous lesson was not profound enough, and now that old man has even let someone intervene in the newcomer's trial. He'd better pray that there won't be any accidents during this trial, otherwise our Lin family will never die with him. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.